I was 31 when I learned that some arguments don't end marriages. They just reveal they were already over. Thanksgiving dinner, her mother's house. The dining room was packed with family. Her 2 brothers, their wives, an aunt and uncle, a handful of cousins I'd met maybe twice. We'd done this every year for 3 years straight. My family lived 2 hours in the opposite direction. But we never went there. Not once. She always insisted. I always gave in. That was the pattern. I thought compromise was what marriage looked like. I was wrong about that too. The meal started normal enough. Pass the potatoes, compliment the stuffing, laugh at someone's story about traffic. I was halfway through my plate when her mother set down her fork and looked at me with that expression I'd come to recognize. The one that meant she'd been holding something back all day and was done waiting. "So," she said, loud enough that nearby conversations died. "Are you still doing that? What do you call it? Computer work?" "Network security," I said. Kept my voice even. "Same company, different role now." She waved her hand like I'd just told her I collected bottle caps. Right, one of those tech jobs. She took a sip of wine, then continued. "You know, when my daughter told me she was marrying someone in that field, I thought she meant someone important. Like those people you see on the news. Innovators, entrepreneurs." The table went quiet. Everyone suddenly found their plates fascinating. "Instead," she said, voice sharpening, "she brought home someone who fixes computers when they stop working. No real ambition. Honestly, a complete disappointment." My wife's face flushed red. But she didn't say anything, just stared at her mashed potatoes like they held the answer to some question she hadn't asked yet. I put my fork down carefully, took a breath. "I respect that you have opinions," I said, keeping my tone calm. "But I'm good at what I do. I support your daughter. We have a stable life. I'm not sure what disappointment means to you, but from where I'm sitting, I'm doing just fine. You'd think I'd flip the table." Her mother's jaw dropped. My wife's head snapped toward me, and I saw something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Not surprise, not embarrassment, anger, pure directed anger at me. "Don't you dare talk back to my mother," she hissed. Her voice cut through the silence like glass breaking. "Who do you think you are? You sit at her table, eat her food, and then disrespect her like this?" I blinked, waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. "I didn't disrespect anyone," I said quietly. "I defended myself. You need to apologize, right now." I looked around the table. Her brothers wouldn't make eye contact. Her aunt was studying her wine glass like it contained the secrets of the universe. Nobody was stepping in. Nobody was saying a word. "I'm not apologizing for standing up for myself," I said. She stood up so fast her chair scraped against the floor. "Then get out. Get out right now. If you can't show respect in this house, then leave." The whole room went silent. I could hear the clock ticking on the wall. Someone's fork clinked against a plate. I looked at her, actually looked at her, waiting for her to take it back, to realize what she'd just said, to tell her mother to stop, to defend me the way I'd defended myself. She didn't. She just stood there, arms crossed, jaw set, waiting for me to either apologize or leave. I stood up slowly, folded my napkin, set it beside my plate, pushed my chair in, grabbed my jacket from the back of it. "All right," I said. Simple as that. Her eyes went wide for just a second, like she'd expected me to argue, to beg, to make a scene. I didn't. I walked to the front door, grabbed my keys from the bowl on the entry table, and stepped outside. The door closed behind me with a soft click. No slamming, no drama, just done. I sat in my car for a minute, hands on the steering wheel, staring at the house through the windshield. Part of me expected her to come running out, to say she was sorry, to say she didn't mean it. The front door stayed closed. I started the engine and drove home. The apartment was 30 minutes away. The whole drive, my phone sat silent in the cup holder. No calls, no texts, nothing. When I walked into our place, it felt different, quieter. I stood in the living room, looking around at our stuff, her stuff, our lives mixed together in this space. And I realized something. She told me to get out. She made her choice in front of her entire family. She chose her mother's authority over her husband, chose to humiliate me rather than support me. I wasn't angry, I wasn't hurt, I was just done. I walked to the closet, pulled out a duffel bag, and started packing. Not everything, just what I needed. Clothes, toiletries, laptop, important documents. I worked methodically, calmly, like I was preparing for a business trip. Because in a way, I was. This was business now, and I was about to handle it like a professional. She wanted me out. Fine. I'd show her exactly what out looked like. The apartment stayed quiet that first night. No calls, no texts, nothing. I didn't sleep much, not because I was upset, but because my mind was already working through logistics. By sunrise Friday morning, I had a plan. First thing I did was call my buddy Marcus. We'd worked together for years before he moved to a different company. Solid guy. The kind who doesn't ask questions he doesn't need answers to. "Hey man, random question," I said when he picked up. "You still have that spare room?" "Yeah, why?" "I need a place to stay, maybe a week or two. I'll pay rent, obviously." There was a pause. "Everything okay?" "Not particularly, but it will be." "Come by whenever. I'll be home all day." That was it. No interrogation, no drama, just a solution. I spent Friday morning sorting through everything in the apartment. Took photos of every room, every piece of furniture, every appliance. Documented what was mine, what was hers, what we'd bought together. Pulled out our lease, utility bills, bank statements. Everything went into a folder on my laptop, organized by category. Professional, methodical, clean. Around noon, my phone finally buzzed. A text from her mother. "I hope you've learned your lesson about respect. My daughter deserves better than someone who can't control his temper." I stared at that message for 10 seconds. Control my temper. I'd spoken calmly. I'd left without a scene. I'd done everything right. I deleted it without responding. An hour later, another text. This time from her brother Vincent. "Dude, what happened? Mom's telling everyone you stormed out and caused a scene. That true?" I typed back, "I was told to leave, so I left. That's it. No scene. Ask anyone who was actually there." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. No response after that. That told me everything I needed to know. Her family was already spinning the story. The one where I was the problem. I grabbed my laptop and headed to a coffee shop downtown. Spent the afternoon researching tenant rights, divorce procedures, asset division in our state. Read through everything twice. Took notes. Highlighted important sections. By evening, I had a list of 3 family law attorneys. Sent emails to all 3. Brief, professional, requesting consultations. 2 responded within an hour. I scheduled appointments for Monday and Tuesday. Saturday morning, I packed up the rest of my essentials. Clothes, electronics, some books, my guitar. Loaded everything into my car in 3 trips. The apartment looked different now, emptier, like I was already gone. I drove to Marcus's place around lunchtime. He helped me carry boxes upstairs without asking for details. We ordered pizza, watched a game, kept the conversation light. It felt normal, stable. That evening, I got a text from her Aunt Lucy. I was at the dinner. Your wife was out of line. So was her mother. Just wanted you to know someone saw what actually happened. I appreciated that more than she knew. Sent back a simple thank you. Sunday, I focused on finances. Opened a new checking account at a different bank, separate from our joint account. Transferred exactly half of what we had saved together. Not a dollar more, not a dollar less. Fair, documented, legal. Updated my direct deposit information with HR. My next paycheck would go to my new account. Canceled the credit card linked to our joint expenses. Applied for a new one in my name only. Every action was calculated. Every step was defensible. No emotion, just logic. I kept expecting her to call, to text, to show up, to do something. She didn't. 3 full days, 72 hours. Not a single word from her directly. That told me everything. She was waiting for me to break, to apologize, to come crawling back, admitting I was wrong. Probably sitting at her mother's house, complaining about how stubborn I was being. Let her wait. Sunday evening, I sat in Marcus's living room with my laptop, reviewing everything I'd prepared. Documents organized, attorneys scheduled, finances separated, living situation secured. I'd spent 3 days building a foundation, not for reconciliation, but for moving forward. My phone was on the coffee table, face down. I hadn't checked it in hours. When I finally picked it up, there were 6 missed calls. All from her, all within the last 30 minutes. No voicemails, just missed calls. Then a text appeared. I'm coming home. We need to talk. Timestamp, 4 minutes ago. She was probably already on the way. I stood up, grabbed my jacket. Marcus looked over from the kitchen. Heading out? Yeah, got something to take care of. Need backup? I shook my head. I've got this. I drove back to our apartment. The lights were off when I arrived. I parked in my usual spot, walked up the stairs slowly. No rush, no anxiety, just focus. Unlocked the door and stepped inside. The apartment was exactly how I'd left it. Empty spaces where my stuff used to be. Her things still scattered everywhere, untouched. I turned on the lights, set my keys on the counter, and waited. She'd said she was coming home. Fine, let her come home. She wanted to talk? We'd talk. But this conversation was going to go very differently than she expected. She walked through the door 20 minutes later. I was sitting on the couch, laptop open, reviewing a document. Didn't stand up, didn't rush over. Just looked up and acknowledged her presence. Hey, I said. Neutral, calm. She stood in the doorway, keys in hand, staring at me like she'd expected to find someone else. Maybe a version of me that was pacing the floor, stressed, ready to apologize. That guy wasn't here anymore. Where's all your stuff? She asked, eyes scanning the empty spaces. Marcus's place. I'm staying there. Her face shifted. Confusion first, then something closer to annoyance. You moved out? You told me to get out. I got out. That's not what I meant. That's exactly what you said. She dropped her purse on the side table, arms crossing. The same stance from Thursday. Defensive, ready for a fight. You were supposed to wait here. We were supposed to talk about this like adults. I closed my laptop slowly, set it aside, looked at her directly. Adults don't humiliate their spouse in front of family, I said. Adults don't tell their partner to leave and then expect them to stick around, waiting for permission to come back. My mother was out of line, okay? I know that. But you didn't have to make it worse by arguing with her. I defended myself, calmly, respectfully. That's not arguing. That's having a backbone. She flinched at that. Good. You embarrassed me, she said, voice rising, in front of everyone. You made me look like I couldn't control my own husband. Control? I let that word hang in the air. That's an interesting choice. You know what I mean. I do, and that's the problem. She started pacing now, moving around, building energy, trying to dominate the space. Usually worked on me, not tonight. Look, she said, softer now, switching tactics. I overreacted. I was stressed. The whole day was tense and I just snapped. But we can fix this. We just need to talk it through. There's nothing to fix. What does that mean? It means I'm done. The pacing stopped. She turned to face me, eyes narrowing. Done? What are you talking about? I have a consultation with an attorney tomorrow morning. Another one Tuesday. I've separated our finances, documented our assets, moved my belongings out. I've started the process. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Process? What process? Divorce. The word hit her like cold water. She actually took a step back. You can't be serious. Completely serious. Over one argument? One bad day? I stood up now, not aggressive, just done sitting. This wasn't one bad day, I said. This was 3 years of bad days. 3 years of your mother disrespecting me while you stood by and said nothing. 3 years of me being the backup option whenever your family demanded your attention. 3 years of being told I'm not good enough, not successful enough, not whatever enough. That's not true. Thursday proved it was. Your mother called me a disappointment. You agreed with her, not in words, but in action. You chose her over me in front of everyone. She's my mother. And I was your husband. Past tense. Because the moment you told me to get out, you made your choice. She shook her head, hands going to her temples. You're being ridiculous. People say things they don't mean when they're upset. It happens. You're supposed to be the mature one here. I am being mature. I'm removing myself from a situation where I'm not valued or respected. So that's it? You're just giving up? Walking away from everything we built? You walked away first. I'm just not chasing after you. She stared at me for a long moment. I could see her brain working, cycling through strategies. The anger wasn't working. The guilt wasn't working. Time for tears. Right on schedule, her eyes started watering. Please, she said, voice breaking. Don't do this. I love you. We can work through this. I'll talk to my mother. I'll set boundaries. Just give me a chance to make this right. Where were those boundaries Thursday? Where were they last Christmas when she criticized my family? Where were they on our anniversary when she called in the middle of dinner and you spent an hour on the phone with her? That's not fair. It's completely fair. You've had 3 years to set boundaries. You chose not to. I'm choosing to set my own now. The tears stopped as quickly as they'd started. Her expression hardened. There it was, the shift from manipulation to threat. If you go through with this, she said, you'll regret it. My family has connections, lawyers, resources. You think you can just walk away clean? I'm not trying to walk away clean. I'm walking away with exactly what's mine. Half the savings, my personal belongings, my dignity. You can keep everything else. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's my mistake to make. She grabbed her purse, headed for the door, stopped with her hand on the handle. I'm staying at my mother's, she said. When you come to your senses, you know where to find me. I won't be looking. She slammed the door on the way out. The sound echoed through the empty apartment. I stood there for a minute, listening to her footsteps fade down the hallway. Then I picked up my phone and sent a text to the first attorney on my list. Confirmed for tomorrow at 9 a.m. See you then. 3 days ago, she told me to get out. She thought I'd spend that time feeling sorry for myself, waiting for her approval to come back. Instead, I spent it preparing for the rest of my life. A life without someone who needed me to be small so she could feel big. I grabbed my laptop, turned off the lights, and headed back to Marcus's place. Tomorrow morning, I'd start making this official. No second thoughts, no looking back. She wanted me out. She got her wish, permanently. Monday morning, 9 o'clock sharp. I sat across from attorney Daniel Garrison in his downtown office. Mid-50s, gray hair, sharp suit. The kind of guy who'd seen every divorce tactic in the book and wasn't impressed by any of them. Walk me through what happened, he said, pen ready. I did. Kept it factual. No emotional commentary. Just events in order. Thanksgiving dinner. The public humiliation. Her demand that I leave. My 3-day preparation. Her return. Her threats. He took notes, nodding occasionally. You separated finances already? Half the joint savings transferred to a new account. 50-50 split. I have documentation of every transaction. Smart. Too many people wait until emotions cool down and make mistakes. You documented assets. Photos, receipts, bank statements. Everything's organized by category. He smiled. Not warm, professional. You've made my job significantly easier. Most clients come in here a mess. You came in prepared. I don't do messes. Good. Here's what happens next. He spent the next 40 minutes outlining the process. Filing timeline, asset division, state requirements, what to expect from her side, what leverage we had. By the time I left his office at 10:30, I had a clear roadmap. Papers would be filed by Wednesday. She'd be served by Friday. Clean, official, done. My phone started buzzing the moment I got to my car. Vincent again. I answered. Yeah? We need to talk about this divorce thing, he said. No greeting, straight to business. Nothing to talk about. It's happening. Come on, man. You guys have been together for years. One fight isn't worth throwing everything away. It wasn't one fight. And I'm not throwing anything away. She already did that. She's my sister. I'm supposed to just let you walk away? I'm walking away because she told me to. I'm just taking her seriously. Silence on his end. Then a sigh. Her mom's losing it, calling everyone, saying you abandoned her daughter, that you're being vindictive. Her mom called me a disappointment at Thanksgiving dinner. Your sister agreed. I don't care what story they're telling now. Look, I was there. I know what happened. But family's complicated. You know how her mom gets. I do. That's why I'm leaving. Another pause. You're not going to change your mind? No. All right, I tried. He hung up. 20 minutes later, another call. Her cousin Megan this time. I heard you're divorcing her because of one argument, she started. That seems extreme. It is extreme, that's the point. But you guys seem so happy. We seemed a lot of things. Doesn't mean we were. Can't you just go to counseling or something? Counseling fixes communication problems. This isn't a communication problem. This is a respect problem. You can't counsel someone into respecting you. She went quiet. I guess I can't argue with that. Then don't. She hung up, softer than Vincent did. The calls kept coming throughout the day. Friends, family, people I hadn't talked to in months, suddenly very concerned about my marriage. Every conversation followed the same pattern: shock, disbelief, attempts to change my mind. None of it worked. By Tuesday afternoon, the messages shifted tone. Screenshots started appearing in my texts, group chats. Her family was having conversations about me. Her mother: he's being childish and petty. My daughter deserves so much better. Her aunt: maybe we should hear his side before judging. Her mother: there is no other side. He disrespected me in my own home. Vincent: Mom, you called him a disappointment. That's pretty disrespectful. Her mother: I was being honest. Someone needed to tell him the truth. I read through the screenshots, watched the family split into camps. Some defending me, most defending her. All of it pointless. Tuesday evening, I met with the second attorney. Younger guy, more aggressive approach. Talked about fighting for more than half, pushing boundaries, making her pay. I thanked him for his time and went back to Garrison. I didn't want aggressive. I wanted fair and finished. Wednesday morning, the papers were filed. Official, legal, public record. Wednesday afternoon, my phone exploded. She'd found out somehow. Word had gotten to her before the official serving. Maybe a friend who worked at the courthouse. Maybe someone in her family with connections. Didn't matter. 15 missed calls in an hour. Voicemails I didn't listen to. Texts I didn't read. Then Marcus's doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. She was standing there, alone, arms crossed, face red. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. You filed, she said. Statement, not question. I did. Without even trying to work things out. I tried for 3 years. Didn't work. That's not what I mean, and you know it. What do you want? I want you to stop this. Withdraw the papers. Come home. We'll figure it out. No. Just like that? Just no? Just like that? Her hands balled into fists. You're being selfish. You're ruining everything because your feelings got hurt. My feelings didn't get hurt. My respect got violated. There's a difference. This is insane. You're throwing away our entire future. You threw it away Thursday. I'm just filing the paperwork. She stepped closer, desperation creeping into her voice. Please, I'm begging you. Don't do this. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Isn't that enough? You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry it had consequences. That's not true. You had 3 days to apologize. 3 days to reach out, to say you were wrong. You didn't. You waited until I filed papers. That's not remorse. That's panic. Tears started. Genuine ones this time, I think. Hard to tell. I love you, she said, voice breaking. You love the version of me that didn't stand up for himself. That guy's gone. So that's it? We're done? Just like that? We were done Thursday. You just didn't know it yet. She wiped her eyes, straightened up. The vulnerability disappeared. Back to familiar territory. Fine. If that's how you want to play this, we'll play. My family has lawyers too. Good ones. You're not getting half of anything. I already took half, legally, before I filed. Everything's documented. Her face went pale. You took money from our account? Our account? 50% was mine. I took what was mine. You can't just do that. I can. I did. Ask your good lawyers. She turned and walked back to her car without another word. Tires squealed as she left. Marcus appeared in the hallway behind me. That went well. Better than expected, honestly. She'll escalate. I know. You ready for that? I closed the door, locked it. I've been ready since Thursday. The next 48 hours were interesting. She made calls, pulled strings, tried everything she could think of. But I'd already thought of everything, already prepared, already moved 3 steps ahead. She wanted a fight. She'd get one. But it wouldn't be the fight she expected. It would be one she couldn't win. Friday afternoon, the process server found her at work. I know because she called me 6 times in 10 minutes. I let them all go to voicemail. Then came the text. You had me served at my job, in front of my coworkers. How could you? I typed back. Would you have preferred your mother's house? No response. That evening, Marcus and I were finishing dinner when his doorbell rang again. I checked the peephole. 3 people. Her mother, Vincent, Lucy. An intervention. Classic. I opened the door halfway. Can I help you? Her mother pushed forward. We need to talk, all of us, right now. I don't think so. You don't get to destroy this family and hide behind a door, she snapped. Vincent put a hand on her shoulder. Mom, relax. He looked at me. 5 minutes. That's all we're asking. Lucy nodded. Please, just hear us out. I glanced back at Marcus. He shrugged. Your call. I stepped outside, closing the door behind me. Kept my back to it. You've got 5 minutes. Her mother went first, naturally. This divorce is ridiculous. You're breaking my daughter's heart over nothing. Over one comment I made that you took the wrong way. I didn't take it the wrong way. You called me a disappointment. That's pretty straightforward. I was trying to motivate you, push you to be better. That's what family does. You're not my family. Her face flushed red. I could have been. I would have been if you weren't so sensitive. Vincent stepped between us. Okay, that's not helping. Look, man, I get it. What happened at dinner was messed up. But walking away completely, that's extreme. She told me to get out. I got out. What part of that is extreme? The divorce part. The cutting everyone off part. The not even trying to fix things part. I spent 3 years trying to fix things. 3 years of being the problem. The one who needed to change, to be better, to earn approval I was never going to get. I'm done trying. Lucy spoke up, softer. What about counseling? A mediator? Something to help you both communicate better. She communicated perfectly clearly Thursday. She chose her mother over me in front of everyone. That's not a communication issue. That's a priority issue. Marriage is about forgiveness, her mother said. About working through problems, about commitment. Funny. Where was that commitment when your daughter told me to leave her family's house? Where was the forgiveness when she demanded I apologize for defending myself? You were disrespectful. I was honest. There's a difference. Her mother's jaw tightened. If you go through with this divorce, you'll never find anyone better than my daughter. You'll regret this for the rest of your life. Maybe, but at least I'll regret it with my dignity intact. Vincent rubbed his face. Come on, this is stupid. You guys love each other. Just talk to her. Work it out. I did talk to her. Sunday. She threatened me, said your family has connections and lawyers, that I'd regret leaving. That's not love. That's control. Lucy looked uncomfortable. She said that. Ask her. Silence. Her mother recovered first. Whatever she said out of hurt, out of desperation. You're abandoning her when she needs you most. She abandoned me first. She just expected me to accept it quietly. So, this is revenge, punishment. This is self-preservation. You're being dramatic. I'm being honest. For the first time in 3 years, I'm being completely honest. And none of you can handle it. Her mother stepped closer, pointed a finger at my chest. You'll withdraw those papers. You'll apologize to my daughter, and you'll fix this mess you created. Or I will personally make sure everyone knows what kind of man you actually are. I didn't move, didn't blink. Go ahead, tell everyone. I've got nothing to hide. Can she say the same? Her hand dropped. Vincent sighed. This isn't going anywhere. Let's go. Not until he agrees to stop this nonsense, her mother insisted. He's not going to. Can't you see that? He's made up his mind. Lucy touched her mother's arm gently. He has every right to make his own choices, even if we don't agree with them. Her mother turned on her. Whose side are you on? I'm on the side of honesty. He's not wrong about what happened Thursday. We all saw it. You're defending him? I'm acknowledging the truth. Her mother looked between the three of them, realized she was losing ground. She turned back to me, eyes cold. Fine, have your divorce, but don't expect anything easy. We'll fight you on every single thing. You'll get nothing. I already took what's mine. The rest is yours to keep. I don't want anything from your family. Not anymore. You'll regret this. You already said that. Repetition doesn't make it more true. She stormed off toward their car. Vincent and Lucy followed, but Vincent paused. For what it's worth, he said quietly, I think you're doing the right thing. She's not going to admit it. None of them are. But you are. He walked away before I could respond. I went back inside. Marcus was pretending not to have listened through the door. Family meeting went well? He asked. About as expected. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. This is Lucy. I saved your number from the group chat. I'm sorry for how everything went down. You deserve better. Good luck. I saved her number. Sent back, thank you. That means more than you know. Saturday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls. All from her. Then one voicemail. I almost deleted it without listening. Something made me press play. Her voice was raw, exhausted. I talked to a lawyer yesterday. They said you did everything correctly. That I can't fight the asset split because you documented everything. That the divorce will go through no matter what I do. A long pause. I didn't think you'd actually do it. I thought you'd come back. Apologize. Beg me to take you back. That's what you always did before. Gave in, made peace, kept things smooth. Another pause. I don't know who you are anymore. This isn't the man I married. The voicemail ended. I deleted it. She was right about one thing. I wasn't the man she married. That man would have apologized, would have accepted blame he didn't deserve, would have made himself smaller so she could feel bigger. That man was gone. This version of me knew his worth, knew when to walk away, knew the difference between love and convenience. Sunday morning, I got an email from Garrison. Her attorney contacted us. They want to negotiate settlement terms. Looks like they're not fighting anymore. We should have this wrapped up in 4 to 6 weeks. Well done." I forwarded it to Marcus with one word: done. He replied, "Drinks tonight, definitely." That evening, sitting at a bar downtown, Marcus raised his glass. "To getting out." "To getting out," I echoed. We drank. He ordered another round. "You know what's funny? A week ago, you were married, had a whole different life planned out. Now you're here, free, starting over. Most people would be a mess." "Most people probably should be, but not you." "I grieved that marriage 3 years ago," I said. "Every time she chose her mother over me, every time she let someone disrespect me without saying a word, every time I made myself smaller. I've been mourning it for years. Thursday just made it official." He nodded slowly. "That's actually kind of sad." "It is, but it's also over." My phone stayed quiet the rest of the night. No calls, no texts, no intervention attempts. She was finally getting the message. I wasn't coming back. I wasn't changing my mind. I wasn't the backup plan anymore. 4 to 6 weeks. Then it would all be official. I could wait. 6 weeks later, I signed the final papers in Garrison's office. Divorce finalized, assets divided. Clean break. No alimony, no ongoing obligations. Just done. "Congratulations," Garrison said, shaking my hand. "Smoothest case I've handled in months." "Thanks for making it easy." "You made it easy. You came prepared, stayed rational, didn't let emotion drive decisions. That's rare." I walked out of his office into bright afternoon sunlight. Pulled out my phone. No messages, no missed calls, nothing. Perfect. Marcus helped me move into my own place the following weekend. 1-bedroom apartment downtown. Small, clean, mine. "Fresh start," he said, setting down the last box. Exactly what I needed. Work had been going well. My boss pulled me aside 2 weeks earlier, offered me a project lead position. More responsibility, better pay. I accepted immediately. Turns out when you're not constantly stressed about your home life, you perform better professionally. Who knew? I ran into Vincent at a hardware store 3 months later. He saw me first, walked over. "Hey," he said. Awkward. "How you doing?" "Good. Can't complain." He paused. "She's seeing someone. Thought you should know." "Good for her." He blinked. "That's it? Just good for her?" "What else is there to say? We're divorced. She can date whoever she wants." "You're not even a little bothered?" "Not even a little." He shook his head, almost smiling. "You're different, man. In a good way. You seem lighter." "I am lighter. Turns out not carrying someone else's expectations all the time does that." "She asks about you sometimes, through Mom. Wants to know how you're doing." "Tell her I'm doing great, because I am." He nodded. "Will do. Take care of yourself." "You too." He walked away. I finished shopping, went home, made dinner, watched a game, went to bed early. Simple. Peaceful. Mine. A year after Thanksgiving, I got a text from Lucy. "Hope you're doing well. Family dinners aren't the same without someone willing to stand up to Mom. You were right about everything. Hope you know that." I smiled, typed back. "I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well too." She responded immediately. "Better now that I set my own boundaries. You inspired that. Thank you. Some lessons take time to land." I never saw her again. Never ran into her mother. Never heard from her directly. That was fine. Good, actually. Clean breaks heal faster. 2 years later, I met someone new. Different. Better. Someone who didn't need me to be smaller, who valued respect as much as I did, who chose me first every single time. We had dinner with her family for the first time. Her mother said something slightly critical about my job. Before I could respond, my girlfriend cut in. "Mom, he's excellent at what he does. If you can't respect that, we're leaving." Her mother backtracked immediately, apologized, changed subjects. After dinner, driving home, she reached over and squeezed my hand. "Sorry about that," she said. "My mom can be a lot sometimes. You handled it perfectly. Nobody disrespects you, not even my family." I looked at her, smiled. "I appreciate that more than you know. I know exactly how much. That's why I do it." That Thanksgiving dinner 2 years ago taught me something valuable. Sometimes people show you exactly who they are. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is believe them the first time. I believed her. I left. I rebuilt. And I never looked back. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.